Howdy. Today is April 5th, 2024. And I'm here at the beach. One of my favorite spots to spend the day. So I'm celebrating a couple of things. One, it's been 2 weeks. Today is was the 10th radiation treatment. 10 down, 18 more to go. And what I'm celebrating is the fact that I've been able to continue living this magnificent vagabondage lifestyle instead of having to move into someplace yet. I've been able to get myself around pretty well. I think I'm tolerating the radiation treatments pretty well. And today, in the radiation treatment itself, I started to have the sensation of, it felt like something burst and somebody was sticking a needle into my private parts at the same time. And I take this to mean that the cancer really didn't like it today. And I told the technicians about it afterwards. I was like, I think the cancer really didn't like this treatment. And they said, why? I said, because I felt it. And if I'm feeling it, I know the cancer's feeling it. There has been if you've been following along, before we started the radiation, I did 3.5 months of chemotherapy, and through all of that I went through, the cancer itself never hurt. But the first day of the radiation treatment, it started hurting, and it's been kind of a dull. It's not constant, but throughout the day and night, there are definitely long periods of pain, and right at the cancer. So I know that whatever's happening is working. And another thing that I'm celebrating today is last night was the first night. Well, I've had bloody stools since the end of January, and diarrhea since February. So diarrhea and bloody stools, you can imagine. But increasingly through the last, 3 or 4 weeks, it was very rare for me to make it through the night without having to wake up at least 2 to 3 times to poop out a puddle of blood. And sorry if that's too graphic for you. You're welcome to scroll on. But this is, as I've said before, this has been my reality. So last night was the first night that I can remember since probably early February, where I didn't have to wake up at all to poop out some blood, a puddle of blood. And I went the whole night without having to get up to poop at all. So I'm saying this to say that there's progress. I'm noticing progress in, since we started the radiation treatments. And so the way the schedule goes, they don't work on the weekends, so I have the weekends off, and while I take those days off, I not just take the days off from the radiation. That means I also don't have to take chemo pills. I only take them on the days that I do the radiation now. So I've got 2 days of literally doing nothing, as little as possible, because what I discovered is the less I move around, the less I bleed. So, and I think it may be possible that the lesion itself is getting to a point where it can start to heal. So I want to the next couple of days. I probably won't even leave the van to walk around, because walking around is what is contributing to having to poop out blood so much. So we're celebrating having 2 days off from treatments and stuff. All of these treatments, both the chemo and the radiation, they're cumulative. So as time goes on, as we go through these, it's expected even after the last radiation treatment. I think it'll be around the 26th. I haven't done the math, but of April. By the end of April, we should be done with the radiation treatments, and barring the unforeseen, if I have to pause for being exposed to some kind of illness or something, they expect that the cancer will continue to shrink, because of the cumulative nature of these treatments, both the radiation and the chemo. And I can attest that as I go like this, I can feel what's called the neuropathy. This pins and needles in my fingers and toes, and unfortunately my mouth and face as well. A lot of the soft tissues, and that's caused from the infusion drugs that I haven't had an infusion in, I think, 2 weeks now. But it's still, the good thing about the neuropathy is it tells me that the chemo is still very potent, which is what I wanted to have happen. I wanted to overlap these two treatments to, give the cancer no let up in the pressure and weakening of its support system. So I'm feeling really, relatively good. I feel like there's some progress, and but as I said, I can't afford to allow any sort of let up in the pressure on this, because this shit is tenacious. It'll bounce back in a heartbeat if you'll let it. And so I'm dedicated to following this course of treatment as far as I can, because basically there's no other option. It's either me or the cancer at this point. Either it dies or I do. So, and I'm not about to be letting it go, or have its way. So that's all the news that's fit to print. I just wanted to jump on here real quick and give some positive feedback about where I'm at and whatnot. Staying away from people as much as I can. The only people I talk to are medical professionals or cashiers, to get my... I think a big part of why I'm doing, energy-wise, I'm doing so well is because of the high-protein red meat diet that I've been pursuing for the past 3 weeks. Every day I have, some sort of red meat, and I'm still doing these iron supplements, 160% of what you would normally, the daily recommended dose of iron. And I'm still doing the selenium to build up the white blood cells. And I feel like I'm taking pretty good care of myself. I'm still limiting my bathing or an exposure to water, because the chemos, both of these they're water soluble, and I don't want them to break down. So, this week I had 2 showers, and the week before I only had 1. It'll be like that for the rest of this, maybe 1 shower a week if possible, to limit the amount of weakening of the chemo. We want to keep it as potent as we can for as long as we can, at least through the radiation treatments, and then I'm hopefully by then I will have be completely free of the cold response that still comes with the from the infusion drug. So I still, yesterday actually, I had a trigger. I passed through the first trigger of that for the cold response. I started sneezing, and that's once you start sneezing, you've either got to warm yourself up, get out of cool air, or you've got maybe 2 to 3 minutes before you're in crisis. So on the one hand, that's it's manageable because I know what the triggers are. You would think, here we are 2 weeks after the end of the last infusion period, and which means 5 weeks since the last infusion, and I'm still susceptible to the side effects of that drug. That just tells you how potent that poison is. And I feel very fortunate, blessed, and graced, I should say, because one, I'm still able to take care of myself. 2, things could be a lot worse. 3, the path that I'm on is to a cure. This is curable according to the doctors, if I continue on this path, and I'm spot on. My goal, once again, is to, once we get through the radiation, for there to leave nothing for the surgeons to operate on. So we'll see how that goes. We've got 18 more shots and from the particle beam. And another really wonderful thing is that they're playing my music while I'm going through this. They have a speaker set up in the treatment room with the particle beam weapon, and so these treatments take about a half an hour, and they're playing my music while I'm, the music from my album, The 12 Journeys Underneath, that I created in 2019, January of 2019, January, February, March, same period that I've been going through this. Today we listened to the second to last track, which is called The Astral Plane, and yesterday we were listening to the Causal Plane track, and it's so amazing how it fits in with the sounds that the machine makes, the particle beam weapon. And I want to give a shout out while I remember, once again, to my friend Ellen Tierney, who I've known since I was a senior and I think she was a freshman at UMass Amherst. She's a cancer survivor, 10-year cancer survivor. And a few of these posts ago, she recommended, when I said that I was going to be doing the radiation, she recommended this stuff called Aquaphor. Aquaphor. This is it, right? For putting on it's a healing skin, ointment for putting on your skin, because the radiation can do a number on your skin, and can get really super sensitive. And so I've been dosing myself with this regularly, and thank you so much, really. So good job. And anybody else, I highly recommend this stuff for this part of the journey, So yeah, I'm feeling pretty positive. I'm feeling pretty upbeat right now. The reason I'm shooting this video right now is because it takes a couple of hours. Every day at 10:30 is when I'm begin the treatments, and 5 days a week. And it takes probably in about another half an hour. Probably takes a couple of hours before the effects of the radiation start to hit me. And I have, and combined with the chemo pill that I take at the same time. The chemo pill knocks me out. I'll have a nap, and then I wake up and I feel really out of it, and the hurting will start. All the sensations of. I've said it in a text to a friend that and my sister Chris. What it feels like is that like somebody is poking you with a dull knife in your private parts and slowly turning the knife. Once again, that may be too graphic, but that's what it feels like. And it's how do you get comfortable? How do you? The good thing is it's a dull pain. It's not or not often a stabbing pain. But it was very, very odd for it to happen, for those sensations to happen during the actual treatment this morning. So that's why I'm saying I feel like, we may be turning a corner in terms of, the effect on the cancer. The goal being this catastrophic cascading collapse of the support system of the cancer. And it feels like we're approaching that. So I'm looking forward to doing, 5 more treatments next week. And I will pass my record of, I did 12 radiation treatments through the first cancer, the throat and neck cancer, 4 years ago. And then I had to stop. But I feel like I'll it'll be a lot easier for me to do this. One, it's a little less dosage. So I think it's like 20 units less than what I was getting like 200 before. And also it's in the lower extremities as opposed to like right here. And having, bad effects on your being able to swallow and all that kind of stuff. And I'm able to eat. And I've been able to maintain my weight. Yesterday I weighed myself when I took a shower at the gym, and I weighed 182. And the week before I weighed 180. So the fact that I was able to gain 2 pounds in this past week is friggin' wonderful. So yeah, that's pretty much all the news that's fit to print. Thanks for watching. Thanks for paying attention. It's a beautiful day. at this guy out here. Yeah. Anyway, spending a lot of time watching paragliding videos and living very vicariously, but learning from the videos I'm watching, learning, the finer points of things that I couldn't have seen, 2 years ago. So looking forward to getting back to flying in probably be another month, maybe a month and a half. But there's going to be a window between the end of the radiation and the beginning of the having to deal with the surgeons, them doing their assessment as to what. So as I said, the chemo and radiation will, because it's cumulative, it'll keep working on the cancer for several weeks and months. The next step is the surgical reassessments that will start, I think, sometime in July, and to see how much is left, if anything, and the first thing they'll do is a colonoscopy of the descending colon, where the lesion is. So that, like I said, will take place sometime in July, hopefully after the gathering. So that's what's up. Still looking forward to making it to the Rainbow Gathering this summer. Not going to make it to see the eclipse, the total solar eclipse, which is a real bummer. But, first things first, right? Gotta stay alive. So I got a message in my dream space today. And I'm going to attribute it to my dad, who I've had messages from him. He's in a bardo in between space, and as he seems to be reconciling his time on Earth. And the message is, I think it translates to everybody, the message is enjoy being. No matter what plane of existence we're on, it's still up to us to enjoy being, No matter what is happening in our life, we have an opportunity to enjoy being at every moment. It's up to us to take joy in the simplest things of just being able to open our eyes and see these things we take for granted, or just take a moment and be able to breathe without any trauma, be able to stand up under our own energy, and just appreciate whatever there is around that we can see to appreciate, enjoy being, so that's the message for the day from this guy and his connections to the ancestors. Enjoy being. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And remember, we love you. Cool.